My child deserves a morning that honors their body and brain. I'm allowed to slow down. Routines are not about perfection, they're about rhythm. We are allowed to begin the day with peace, even in a world that demands urgency. Hi, and welcome back to Mindful Mondays with Maria. I'm Maria Davis-Pierre, licensed mental health counselor, autism advocate, and founder and CEO of Autism in Black. I'm also autistic and a parent to 3 neurodivergent children. I bring both lived experience and professional expertise to every conversation we have here. I'm so glad you're here for our second episode. If you tuned in last week, thank you. And if you're just joining us now, welcome home. This show is where we center joy, justice, and neurodivergence every single Monday. We're building a space rooted in Black autistic experiences and grounded in care, truth, and community. Today, we're talking about something I know a lot of us are currently dealing with right now. Back to school mornings. Yes, we've started back to school. It seems like the summer went by really quick to me. I don't know how we got back here and started a whole new academic year, but here we are. So we're going to talk about back to school mornings, and specifically how to make those mornings more sensory friendly and peaceful. So I really want to start by saying this. The way we begin our mornings can really set the tone for the entire day. And for our Black autistic children, that tone can make or break how regulated, safe, and seen they feel at school. Now, if you're like me, you might know what it feels like when the morning starts in chaos, right? Someone's screaming, someone can't find their socks, their shoes, their outfit. You might have forgot where you put your Chromebook. Or forgot something that needs to be signed, may have forgot to do your homework, so many things, right? Something could be spilled, dropped, so much, right? And on top of all of that, you still got to get your child to school on time and still start your day on time, right? But here's the truth in all of that. Black families are often carrying extra weight in the mornings. On top of all of that, we might be navigating rushed transitions, pressure to look put together because of anti-Black biases, schools that don't understand our kids, and sometimes our own trauma responses to school systems that have failed us. So this conversation isn't just about logistics, it's about liberation. It's about giving ourselves permission to center care over compliance. So let's get into it. I want to start off by defining what I mean by a sensory-friendly morning. And when I'm thinking of a sensory-friendly morning, I'm thinking of one where we intentionally reduce the sensory overwhelm that can dysregulate our children. That might mean dimming the lights in the morning, playing soft music instead of yelling room to room, choosing soft clothes or sensory-friendly clothes without itchy tags, avoiding strong smells if you can, like a particular perfume, burnt toast if you can. Sometimes you might let the toaster go a little longer than you need it to, and it happens. Okay. It's about emotional safety. That means we're not rushing our kids in a way that feels panicked or punishing. We're building predictability. We're building predictability, offering choices, and co-regulating together. And here's the kicker. Sensory-friendly routines, they help us too as adults. We get to show up calmer, more grounded, and less reactive. So I really want to start off by naming some real barriers and challenges that we can face in the mornings. 1, executive functioning struggles. Your child may need step-by-step support, even for things you think they should know. This isn't about defiance or laziness. It's about brain wiring. Starting the morning might require multiple prompts or physical modeling. And while some days they'll get it right away, other days they may freeze, forget, or feel overwhelmed by the next step. And that's completely normal. Auditory sensitivity, loud alarms, or yelling can throw off an entire nervous system. For Black autistic children who are already navigating environments where they're perceived as too loud or too sensitive, auditory overwhelm at home can lead to shutdowns or meltdowns before they even reach the school. Tactile triggers, right? Socks, shoes, seams, tags, toothpaste textures, water temperature, temperature of the food, right? All of these things can trigger discomfort or distress. Something that can seem so small, like a scratchy shirt, isn't small. Okay? And it can be the reason your child refuses to get dressed or even unravels emotionally before they even get to breakfast. Also, and this is a big one, cultural expectations. We may feel the pressure to not be late or not to look messy, right? Because we know how we're being judged as Black parents. There's often an unspoken fear. If my child melts down in the school lobby or shows up looking disheveled, will these people assume neglect? That pressure to perform, that performance perfection, it adds an emotional labor that other families don't even have to carry or worry about. And all of this can make mornings feel like high stakes performance, okay? But it doesn't have to. So I want to shift into talking about some real world strategies that have worked for my family and others in the autism and Black community. Sometimes people give strategies and you're like, I can't do that. So I like to keep things practical, easy, that we can implement into our day-to-day routine. So let's start off. 1, lowering the sensory load, okay? Not every home is going to have a calm down area, a sensory safe area that is dedicated to regulating emotions, okay? That is true, right? But here are some things that you can do, right? You can dim the lights. You can try to avoid those strong smells. You can try to avoid high-pitched morning TV shows, music, and things of that nature, right? You can keep sensory tools like a fidget spinner in your car or by the door, right? Simple supports that travel with you. Another one, clothing prep the night before if you can, right? This one is pretty manageable and it makes a difference. You can let your child pick from 2 outfit options the night before. You don't need matching bins or labeled drawers, just 2 clean options laid out somewhere predictable. I also like to keep a go-to outfit ready, right? Have a backup outfit that's comfortable, sensory friendly, and doesn't require any decisions. Because sometimes when the morning is falling apart or you're running late, this outfit becomes the default. So your child can still get out the door regulated, right? There's still that level of predictability, even though there may be something happening like you running late, right? Soothing wake-ups. So I try to stay away from loud alarms, from yelling, shaking up. my child any of that to wake them up, right? Because I mean, if somebody is shaking me awake, that is kind of startling, right? We want to try to stay away from those things and try to wake them up in a different manner, right? Whether it be soothing music, rubbing their back, gently calling their name, something different from trying to jolt them awake, okay? Build in regulation time buffers, okay? So leave, if you can, 5 extra minutes for movement or whatever helps your child regulate. Also, co-regulate and validate. And I want to spend a little time on this one because to me it's one of the most important tips I can give you because it's real, right? Our kids don't always wake up ready to engage, okay? And that is okay. That is normal. Do you wake up every day ready to engage? I know I don't. So instead of rushing or correcting, pause and meet them where they are. Use affirming, non-shaming language like, I see your body is having a hard time waking up, right? That's okay. Let's move together. It's hard to get moving when you're still tired. Let's take 3 deep breaths and stretch it out together. Letting them know you don't have to do it alone. I am here to help you. Co-regulation doesn't mean you're calm all the time. That's just not true. Nobody's calm all the time. It means you're doing your best to stay grounded so your child can borrow that calm. Okay? That might look like brushing your teeth side by side in silence. We don't have to talk. Humming a song together. Simply putting your hand on their shoulder and saying, we've got time. Let's take it slow. Let's slow this down, right? And if the morning still goes off the rails, because it can and it will sometimes, circle back later and say, we did have a rough start this morning. That's fine. It happens. We'll try again tomorrow. And I still love you, right? Affirming that this happens. There is nobody that's perfect, right? And ensuring that I still love you even though the day didn't start off in a good form, right? So making sure you're doing co-regulation and validating those feelings, right? And lastly, don't overcomplicate the wins. If your child gets out of the door fed, clothed, and without tears, that is a win, okay? If it happened with a cereal, breakfast morning, sandwich in a bag, 2 mismatched socks, still a win, right? We're not going to overcomplicate them. And for you as the parent, I'm talking to you now, lean in closely. If the morning does not go how you planned, it does not mean you failed. Okay, I'm going to say it again. If the morning doesn't go how you planned, it doesn't mean you failed. If your child refuses their shoes, a particular outfit, food, if they're crying through brushing their teeth because it's sensory overwhelm, right? That doesn't mean you're not doing enough, okay? You're doing what most systems don't do. You're honoring your child's body and their needs, and that's important. And yes, it can feel lonely. It can feel isolating. It can be frustrating at times, especially when you're seeing things on social media of parents who are posting Pinterest lunchboxes, because that one gets me all the time. I would love to be able to lay out a perfect, bento box lunch. That is just not my ministry, and I'm okay with that, okay? I have to be real with me. I'm not going to be able to do that, okay? If your kid is eating dry cereal out of a cup in a car, then guess what? That's what it is, right? Liberation doesn't always look like order. It looks like being intentional, having that intentionality behind it. Okay? So ask yourself each morning, did I move with care? Did I center connection over control? Did I pause when I could have rushed? Because all of those are wins. As we wrap up our second episode of Mindful Mondays with Maria, I like to end these episodes with some affirmations. So let's start with today's affirmations, right? My child deserves a morning that honors their body and brain. I'm allowed to slow down. Here's a good one. Routines are not about perfection. They're about rhythm. We are allowed to begin the day with peace, even in a world that demands urgency. Listen, I know mornings don't always go how we plan, and that's okay. This isn't about doing everything right. It's about making space for your child and for you to show up without shame. You're doing what works for your household, and that matters. So take care of yourself this week. I'll see you next Monday, same time, same space.